Hi and welcome to Outwell. In this film we're going to give you some hints and some tips on how to pitch and pack away all of the tents from the Smart Air collection. The tent that we're using here is the Concorde L, but what we show you will apply to the other tents in the collection as well. Once we've laid out the fly sheet, what we're going to do is peg the four corners. Just remember that this tent is supplied with the Easy Pegging System, so this is where we're going to use the solid steel anchor pegs on the grey coloured pegging points. Once we have pegged the four corners, an important point here is just to open up the front door. Then we're going to take the pump round to the valves and start inflating the tent. So just before we start inflating the tent, there's just a couple of things we need to make sure. We have these release valves here, so we just want to make sure that these are switched to the off position, which is here, so that when we start inflating the tent, we're not going to have any air escaping. You will find that there is a release valve on each sleeve of the tent, so like I say, just make sure that they're all in that position. Then what we're going to do is just take this valve here, and you can just see that the top comes off, and this is where we then attach the pump, ready for inflation. Another important point here is just to make sure that you have the hose on the inflate side, not the deflate side. It's just really simple to attach. You can just see here, it just slides in and then locks into place. So when inflating the tent, for maximum stability, what you're going to be looking for on the meter here is between 0.6 and 0.8 bar, which represents 8.7 to 11.6 psi. Now what we're going to do is just remove the pump from the inflation valve and replace the top on here. Once that's done, we're just going to pop to the inside of the tent and take all of the valves along the top of the tent and put them into the closed position as well. Now all we're going to do is just close the front door, and then we're going to peg all the way around the side of the tent. Just remember, when we're pegging around the edge of the tent, we're going to use the black plastic pegs for all of the black pegging points. And now we're going to add in the rain-safe entrance on the side with the Duratec fiberglass bolt. Finally, what we're going to do is just take out the floating guy lines and peg them into position. Again, remember it's the Easy Pegging System, so we're going to be using the Luminess pegs. When it comes to packing down the tent, you can see here that we've taken up all of the guy lines and we've removed all of the pegs from around the side. Now what we're going to do is just pop inside to make sure that the shutoff valves are in an open position. Then we'll come outside and open up the release valves to deflate the tent. So as I mentioned, once you've opened the shutoff valves on the inside, we're just going to open up all of the release valves. Once all of the air is out the tent, we're just going to fold it up and show you how to put it back into the bag. When it comes to rolling the tent up to put it back in the bag, a really important point here is to roll the tent towards the open valves so that you push all the air out of the tube sections. So that was all of our hints and tips for pitching and packing away the tents from our Smart Air collection. Thanks very much for watching.